Love that song. Sing it a lot. Out loud in the car and in my mind when I'm in public. They would pay me to shut up if I sang in public. Maybe I should do that. I could get another shingle on the roof. It's a possibility. So here we are, my dear, our fourth week, looking at the basic fundamental principles of science of mind, the thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. And it's been wonderful, I know, for me. I've loved it. I just love going back to basics, always, always, always. As they say in life, when in doubt, refer to the manual. Now, whatever that manual is, the expertise and whatever it is we're looking for. And that's a good philosophy. And so today we're looking at how you and I can interact with this thing called life itself, this thing called, the cosmic infinite intelligence that exists, out of which we all came, the presence of spirit itself, which I like to think of it as. It makes it much more personal to me. One of the first great difficulties for us all is the challenge of getting over the fact that wasn't the truth, but it was the fact for us for a long time that God was person. And thank God, God is not a person. Because if God was a person, God would be very limited, and that we do not want. So the infinite is a presence, a beautiful, delicious, gorgeous, yummy presence. And that's what spirit is to me. And I am so very delighted and pleased and grateful that I've come to know spirit in this much deeper way than ever I knew spirit. And I've always had this thing, this yen to know spirit, since the time I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And once upon a time when I was married to Jesus, it was yummy too, but nothing compares to what it is today. Nothing. So we have this one thing in common. We have one thing in common, one desire in common, and that is all of us want control of our own lives. We all have a desire to be able to control our lives. We don't want to live our lives depending upon lady luck or good fortune or chance or some unknown entity somewhere distant from us all, something that might or might not be real. We all want to be able to know that we can control our own life, circumstances, conditions, and situations in a way that makes us all the more potent and powerful and stronger for the ability of being able to do so, regardless of conditions and situations, regardless of that. That's what we all want. And that's why we're here. Whether we know it or not, that's why we're here. And indeed, you and I have discovered it as a result of having discovered this teaching. We have discovered that indeed there is a powerful good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. And that this powerful good in the universe greater than we are, that we get to use, is no less than the power and the presence of the Spirit within us, around us, about us, above us, and below us. And that's something we were always taught, even in orthodoxy. That's what we were taught, that we were the temples of the Holy Spirit. That the Holy Spirit filled our lives and was available and a very real comforter to us when we acknowledged it, recognized it, and interfaced with it, interconnected with it, interneted with it, so to speak, in our language, you see. And so we know that now. We know that there is a way which you and I can take control of our lives, and we can mold our experiences, and we can influence our future. And we do that so that we can succeed and achieve and accomplish and reach a fulfilled and satisfied way of living, so that you and I can know that we are on our purpose, fulfilling our purpose, and getting the work done that we came here to do, because that's why we're here. We were on a mission when we came in. We still are. And the mission is to fulfill your purpose, whatever that is that you came here for. And that's what we're all in the process of doing. And sometimes we're aware of it, and sometimes we're not aware of it, but we want to be as aware as we possibly can be. And we can be totally and super duper aware if we stay connected, constantly engaged with that power and that presence within us that can indeed provide us with all that we need in order to flourish and to thrive and to feel good about our lives and to celebrate our lives and to get up every day knowing today is a good day. I woke up, didn't I? It's going to be a good day because I woke up in it. Very often when I get up in the morning, I say, okay, Spirit, you chose to wake up in me today, and now I'm choosing to wake up in you. That's one of my, it's not the same every day. It differs. It depends. Sometimes this is the day that life has given me. I am glad and I rejoice in it. It just depends where I am when I wake up, But I catch myself on as quickly as I can and get into that dynamic of spirit. No, regardless of what I might be feeling, like over the holiday, I was hacking and sniffing and doing that like everybody else. It was like a great big grand chorus out there. We were all doing it, with few exceptions. And even though I would wake up coughing or wherever, I'd say, this is the day that the Lord has made. I am glad and I rejoice in it. I use my coughing as a cough of praise. And I think Spirit got to like it because it lingered a long time. And I said, enough of this already. So, today we get to look at a specific way that you and I can be interconnected with Source and how we can take ourselves out of the conditions and the circumstances and the situations and all of the things that cram in on us and press in on us and suck the oxygen out of us, person, place, or thing, whatever it is. We have coping skills. We certainly have. And like everything else on this plane, we need skills to be able to get by very well. And we have spiritual tools to help us to do that. And so one of the ways is to understand the universal cosmic principles. Number one, I must want it. I must want to be the best of myself. I must desire to live my best life. I must truly be engaged with the process that's going to strengthen me and build character. There's nothing wrong with building character and tempering the steel of the character of our spines, our spiritual spines. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's always an in thing. And I can do it myself, but I could do with a lot of help from out there to help me to do it too. That's why we're walking the road of life alone together. We need each other to support each other and help each other. We are communal beings. We are communal beings. And Jesus taught us this very well when he was amongst us. We are told he loved to go away into the quiet, silent places to commune with his Source. But then we are told he entered the synagogue every Sabbath as was his custom. As was his custom, my goodness. If the great ones show up for temple and church and mosque on a Sunday or a Friday or a Saturday, then why are we moaning and groaning and belly aching about doing it sometimes? So, one of our great tools is to know, number one, that we have a power for good in the universe that is greater than we are, and it's within us, available to us, and is responsive to us. That we live in a mental, in a spiritual universe, and that life is all about consciousness. Life is consciousness. Consciousness is life. And that you and I project our consciousness every time we have a thought, every time we have an idea, every time we have a feeling, every time we have a conviction. We are projecting our consciousness right out there into the consciousness, the cosmic consciousness, the cosmic soup, so to speak. We are throwing our ingredients into the cosmic soup with every thought and feeling we entertain. And if that's poisonous, it's not so good for the soup. And if it's yummy, it's wonderful. If it is full of zest and zing and flavor, how wonderful it is for that cosmic soup. And it brings it up. It brings it up. So, when you and I know there is something we wish to accomplish, some good we wish to experience in our lives, we have a method by which we can do that. It's called spiritual mind treatment. Now, these treatment steps are just learning wheels. They're just what we need when we're in kindergarten. And when we're finished kindergarten, we don't need any steps. But while we need steps, we need steps. Now, here's the thing about consciousness. Sometimes, for a while, you can be in kindergarten, and then you can be in grade school, and then you can be in high school, and then you can be in college, and then you can be in post-college. You can be at any of those stages at any time. And you can oscillate between the two. You can spend a time in kindergarten and then you go straight into the PhD program. That's how consciousness is. It's all over the place, depending upon where we are, where we put ourselves. And the thing is, we put ourselves in whatever grades we find ourselves through the way we're thinking and feeling, through consciousness. So why stay hanging around a kindergarten if you'd rather be in the PhD program? Makes no sense. However, if you like hanging out here in kindergarten, which is always very cute, I love kindergartners, that's fine if you're good with it. But if you're not good with it, do something about it. So what we do is we get into a frame of reference when we say we are now going to go into spiritual mind treatment. I love the word treatment because it means we're taking care of business. It's like if I go to the chiropractor and get a treatment, I know I'm taking care of something that needs to be taken care of, and I really should have done it a month ago, but however, I'm here now, and I'm taking care of business. So that means I center myself in the awareness of something greater than I am. The first step in this type of prayerfulness is recognition. Recognition. That's what Troward was all about. You could sum them up in 3 words. Recognition, recognition, recognition. What am I supposed to be recognizing? That I am more than myself and I'm not just in this alone. That I have a power, I have a presence, I have a beauty and a grace available to me beyond anything I might ever imagine. And it's there for me, and it is a very real and present help, and it always responds to me all of the time. And it loves to be invited to help. Loves to be invited, and indeed it has to be invited for it to help. It won't come without being called. It will not impose itself or force itself upon us. It must be invited. Okay, so the first step in this prayerfulness is recognition. I recognize that power, that presence, that delight, that beauty, that grace, that joy, that bliss, that truth which sets me free. That's the first step. God is all there is. There is only God. We say it over and over again. God is all there is, God is all there is, God is all there is. We hope one day we'll actually feel that and know it in our bones, the bones of our spiritual atoms. And so God is all there is, and that just takes me, calms me down. It just brings me to a different state of being. It helps me to unclench myself, unwind myself, uncross myself, and allow everything to flow freely. And so I do that. That's what I do. Recognition. In the recognizing step, I go no further for a while, because I take a long time hanging out in recognition until I'm cool, calm, and collected. Don't go beyond that until I am calm, centered, peaceful, sane, Ernest Holmes would say, sane. We need to show up in a sane sense of mind and open and receptive. So there's where I stay until that happens. Now, that could take an hour. I mean, if my back is really up against the wall or my nose is really squished up against the window, it might take an hour. So when that's done, when I'm centered in that awareness that it's okay, I'm being held by a love that will not and cannot let me go, it's all right for me to unwind, unclench, relax. Then I move into the second stage. The second stage is identification, unification. What do I do when I recognize that God is and God is right where I am? Well, then I identify with God. If God is, and God is right where I am, then I must be in God and God must be in me. I must be one with God. We are one. And you can't separate me from God, and you cannot separate God from me. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible. It doesn't matter how awful and dreadful and horrible and obnoxious I've been. Can't separate me from God. Will not happen. It's never going to happen. We're co-joined, like it or not. We are co-joined, and I love it. So that's the second step. Sweet Spirit is all there is. Sweet Spirit now, beloved presence within me, around me, and about me. Can it be that I should know, that I can know that I am one with you? Ooh. And being one with you, why do I need to go further than I am here? Because where you are, there's only you and nothing else. That means there's only wholeness and wellness and fullness and completeness. And by your amazing grace now, I am made whole in mind, body, heart, and soul, and I could finish my prayerfulness at stage 2 if I truly got it, and truly grasped it, and truly accepted it, and truly believed it. And I could get up, and my giddy up would be absolutely hopping and popping within me. And I'd be dancing out the door. Even if there was only one wheel on my wagon, it wouldn't stop me or slow me down if I got it. So that's the second step. Identification. Recognition, identification. What's the third step? Well, the third step is I'm so jazzed now, and I'm so happy, and I'm so great in feeling that I proclaim and declare what I showed up for. Of course I'm whole. Of course I'm healthy. Of course I'm prosperous. Of course I'm in loving relationship with all. Of course I have the greatest employment you could imagine. Of course life is beautiful and wonderful and fantastic. I get ready to go into a musical now. Unlimited. Oh, you're so fortunate I really don't have an outside voice, because I'd be singing everything to you. It would be opera every Sunday. And you'd be going out here 3 hours later with programs signed. Opera. God is more than opera. I just can't share anything better with you. Really. It's so yummy, and I don't know any other great word for this thing called life, spirit, the Holy Spirit, God, the Creator, whatever these staid names would suggest. It's yummy to me. And it gets yummier as time goes on. And that's not because my life gets easier, not at all, not at all. It's because I recognize more and more and more the big life in it all. And say, okay, if it's showing up, it must be all right. Some good comes out of it. And I'm waiting for that good. So that's the third part. You proclaim what you show up for. God is all there is. There is only God. And that God, that presence, that power, that beauty, that grace, that amazing yumminess is right where I am now. And because it is, I'm filled with it. I'm full of it, and it's full of me. And because its only delight is that I should flourish and thrive, that I should know life and know it in abundance, that my joy should be complete, that I should know peace that passes understanding, then I'm proclaiming and declaring for myself that I am healed, whole, healthy, and I am well. Because that's how Spirit has created me. That's the only way Spirit sees me. That's the only way Spirit knows me. So I will know myself as Spirit knows me. I am healthy, I am well in mind, body, heart, and soul, and every aspect of my life and living, and it's good. It's very good. That's the third step. Proclamation. declaration, what I showed up to know. And then the fourth step, very, very important. Because I'm so jazzed with all of this, what happens to me? My heart starts singing in gratitude. My heart starts singing in praise. My heart starts singing in delight. And I praise and I bless and I love and I thank my source. I praise and I bless and I love and I thank my source. I praise and I bless and I love and I thank my source. And then I realize that's the only reason why I'm here, to praise and bless and love and thank my source. But not just in the great out there or in here, but everywhere and with everyone and through everyone. It's a cosmic awareness, an unlimited awareness. And then that moves me into a happy state of release. Big, wonderful sigh. As I breathe out all of that joy and awareness and acceptance and understanding, and say, over and out. I release it. I surrender all of the nonsense now. I give it up and I let it go. And I give the truth and totalness of my beingness up into your sacred heart, where it is safe and secure and always responded to with beauty and grace and the givingness of life back onto itself. That's the prayer of spiritual mind treatment. And it's always about what I want and never about what I don't want. The most important thing I'm going to say to you now is this. If I'm always looking at what is wrong in my life, I will never know what's right with it and in it. I cannot hope to realize what is good and right in my life if I'm thinking about what is wrong and not right in my life. Those two concepts I cannot give to the subconscious mind because they are antagonistic unto each other. They're two different things, and the subconsciousness cannot deal with that. The subconsciousness can only deal with one thing. One thing. And that one thing that I'm thinking about and feeling about is what it's going to wrap itself around and saturate and penetrate and bring into my experience. And if that's on the negative side of life, that's what I'm going to get. Because whatever I'm most deeply feeling is what the subconsciousness will respond to. And guess what? We mostly deeply feel at a negative level. God help us all. That's the most strong and powerful feeling, because it overrides the good feeling we're endeavoring to create within ourselves. So when I show up in treatment, I have to cease and desist thinking about my human life as it was right up until now. I have to show up as the divine self of myself. I have to show up as the image and likeness of the divine. I have to be open and receptive to the greatness of being that is within me, that expresses through me, and wants to do so at a very high level of awareness. That's what I need to identify with. I cannot identify with anything less than the presence and the power of Spirit itself. Because it'll be the less than that I will be thinking about and feeling about, and that's what will come back to me. That's why the first step may take an hour, as I wrap myself up in the power and the presence that fills me. There is nothing wrong with you. There never has been anything wrong with you. Oh, there's been many things wrong about the way you perceive yourself. There have been many things wrong about the way you've behaved yourself. But there never has been anything wrong with you. You are the image and the likeness of your Creator. You are the divine expression itself in form. You are the means by which the Almighty wants to express itself through you, unlimited. You are the grace of God. You have its power available to you. Use it! And so it is.